Hello everybody, welcome back to Screen Stars. I'm here today to bring you my review for the 2018 action comedy, The Debt Collector. Now this is a film that is directed by Jesse V. Johnson and it stars Scott Adkins, Louis Mandylor, Vladimir Kulich, Tony Todd and Selena Law. Now, as you know, I have been or you might not know, I've been catching up with some Scott Adkins films. I recently found his YouTube channel and I've been watching quite a lot of his content, and he talked quite honestly about a lot of his films and stuff, so I thought, you know what, I'm going to catch up with some Scott Adkins films. Up to this point, the best film I'd seen of his was Avengement, which to be honest I think is a really brilliant film. And obviously being aware of him being in things like Expendables 2 and Grimsby and American Assassin and Criminal, he's made, and Doctor Strange, he's done a lot of stuff like that, but he's never really been a lead in big Hollywood production sort of thing. So he makes his own action movies. He's quite a lot of time he's producers on them and he writes them and choreographs a lot of stuff in them. And I've been aware of this film, The Debt Collector, for a couple of years. Just never really overly interested in watching it. But after seeing this film, I'm happy to say I'm really glad I did. I really enjoyed this film. And this film focuses on Scott Adkins' character, French, who we see at the beginning of the film. He's got his own martial arts dojo. He's struggling to finance it. He's struggling to pay his rent. And Michael Paré, who's in this film as well, he's like one of the customers, I guess you could say, at the dojo. It doesn't really make it clear, but he also works as like a debt collector for the local mobster, Tommy, played by Vladimir Kulich. So French asks his friend, can you get me in, I need money, I need this job. And he has an interview with Tommy, and he is given the opportunity to spend the weekend with Sue, played by Louis Mandylor, who's a veteran debt collector. So essentially this movie follows these two characters collecting debts for Tommy. However, none of them ever seem to go to plan, and then they are eventually led down the road where they have to collect a debt for Barbosa, who is a pretty vile local gangster who has hired them through Tommy to collect a debt for him, and eventually it makes them basically question their morals by the end of the film. So what are my thoughts on this film? Well, as I've said, I was really happy, and I watched this film and I was really impressed with it. It was fun. I thought the chemistry between Scott Adkins and Louis Mandylor was absolutely fantastic. These guys work brilliantly together. Brilliant chemistry. One-liners thrown back and forth. It was like a real throwback to buddy cop movies. Obviously they're not cops in this film, but you'll know what I mean if you ever watch this film. Great chemistry between them, and it really made the film. When a lot of films like this, they can put good action scenes together, and then the stuff in between the action scenes is dull as dishwater. Not like that in this film. The stuff in between the action scenes is arguably better than the action scenes themselves, because the witty dialogue between these two characters is so fun. It really makes the film, and it really elevates it, I think, to certainly a highly entertaining film. Now that's not to say that the action scenes aren't incredible, because I think they are, certainly for the most part. I think the first 3/4 of this film, I'd say, are bang on. I can't really give it much in the way of faults, other than a couple of cliched characters here and there, and a little bit of predictability, but it's an action film. What are you going to do? And the fact that they keep going to collect these debts, it doesn't go according to plan, and Scott Adkins has these massive epic battles with these people, while Louis Mandylor for the most part looks on. It's just brilliant. It's flawless first 3/4 of this film, and then it kind of loses its way. I think certainly the last quarter of this film it feels rushed, and there's this terrible gun battle at the end of the film that feels out of place, and I think it's sloppily shot. The director, I think, is certainly is adverse at filming martial arts scenes. I mean, and the fight scenes are just brilliant. They really are very, very good indeed. But I think the shooting scene at the end is pretty sloppy, personally, and it doesn't add a lot to the film, even though it's necessary. And how they get to that scene at the end, the shooting scene, it just felt a little bit rushed. So it wasn't terrible, and it didn't ruin the film, that part of it, but it was certainly a little bit of a letdown. It's almost like they didn't know exactly how to finish the film. But a real nice surprise, I have to say. This is definitely one of those films that I would be looking to add to my collection for sure. It's a fun, watchable action comedy that's made really well, and I think having someone of Louis Mandylor's calibre in it, who is a really good actor, really elevates Scott Adkins' performance as well. I mean, I think Scott Adkins is a decent actor as well, and is very, very talented martial artist. But having someone like Louis Mandylor performing next to him, they elevate each other. They're both brilliant in this film. I really can't emphasise that enough. And I do know that they have made a sequel, and it has been released a couple of months ago, I think. So I'm definitely going to be seeking that out and watching it. I'm actually quite excited to watch the sequel to this, because I was really impressed with this film. So if you haven't checked out The Debt Collector, check it out. It's a really fun film. Don't expect perfection, there's no such thing really, but I'm going to give it an 8 out of 10. I really, really enjoyed it. I thought it was a lot of fun, and definitely one to check out if you have never seen it. So that's my review for The Debt Collector. I hope you liked it, and of course I will be back for more reviews on Screen Stars very, very soon. However, if you do have any Scott Adkins films, any suggestions, please pop them in the comments, and I will certainly try and check it out. I'm going to certainly check out his Undisputed films and go through and review them, and then check out a couple more probably. So yeah, thanks for watching everybody.